he's pissing me off, but I have to realize that I could be wrong. And even if I'm not, the possibility's there. We were talking about the fact that you got to let stuff go.
Yeah.
You got to forgive. Mm-hmm. And even if it's just forgiving yourself, don't forgive that other person, because I don't believe in that. Sometimes you just can't forgive people. Yeah. But you have to forgive yourself, especially if you're letting that other person win. Is that fair?
That's fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with that.
You got to forgive yourself if you're letting the other person win.
Is that, and like, be honest with yourself.
Yes. Understand that in that honesty, that there's that cruelty to yourself. Like, hey, I probably should do a little better with my partner. Hey, I probably should fucking tell my friends I love them more. This situation that he's talking about, imagine him. You can't even do it. You can't imagine him as not beautiful. I can tell you that day when he came back into my life was the worst I ever seen him, because it does that to you. Yeah. You don't even notice it. And if you do, you do nothing about it, which is a double whammy. But it makes you look bad. Not because you want to, but because that's just what it forces your body to do.
You ever seen someone that's strung out, like really bad off on, substance abuse?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, imagine that physical state as a mental state.
And imagine that you can apply a lot of those things physically.
The word you used for me was emotionally emaciated.
Yes.
I had been cored out.
Yes.
Like anything that was soft in me was dead scabbed over. Like it took a while.
He moved in with me. It took me like 4 months to break the skin enough of, can we talk about this now? I picked you up. Mm-hmm. You had a garbage bag in a house that didn't have power. That wasn't your fault, but you were trying to you were still trying to do the right thing, but you were that close to doing the wrong thing. That's where your mind was, and that's where I saw you.
Oh yeah.
And it took a while. Oh Jesus, it took a while, and lots of food and lots of love. Oh God, the love. The fucking love that was put in the food. I went hard. I went hard on the steak. I went hard on everything he loved and I knew he loved. Every emotional thing that I knew he was attached to food-wise, I did it. Look at him.
I will say is like going through the situation was absolute shit, but I am thankful for it.
Yes.
Not because I went through all that shit, but because it taught me a lot more about myself, the kind of person I can be under pressure.
Uh-huh.
What I can allow and what I will not allow.
Absolutely.
It showed me a lot of things I'd never once even considered before.
Fair.
It's changed my love life in a lot of ways. Some ways for the better, some ways for the worse.
Yeah.
Because I don't have the kind of patience I used to. Like that's gone.
Now,
if you're looking for somebody to test,
listen,
I ain't the one.
Listen, hold on a second.
I'm bad at quizzing.
No. Instead of a test, I like to refer it as a tolerance.
Yeah.
Okay, so we become tolerant in the things that we think help us, but actually hinder us. So we build a tolerance towards alcohol. We build a tolerance towards. We build a tolerance towards things that nag us, because some tolerances are healthy.
Yeah.
But tolerance, as opposed to compromise, because self-compromise still exists, is so important for somebody to realize.
I said that to somebody the other day. They had a particular ideology, a political leaning that I didn't care for. It was like, I can't believe you don't like me. It's like, I don't dislike you. I just tolerate you. And that hurt them more.
Right. Self-compromise is so important in my job, but it's important to everybody, because self-compromise can be, hey, he's pissing me off, but I have to realize that I could be wrong. And even if I'm not, the possibility's there.
Good lump.
The thing is,
it's wild that he's saying that.
Yeah.
I know, right?
That's crazy.
Isn't that literally the pot calling the kettle me?
But hold on a second. But listen to me. Listen to me. I don't ever see the fact that you guys might look at me as an example as the example. But I know that if I don't do it, there's no way that I could ever expect anybody else to do it. So when I check myself, the checking is mostly based off of, does that person still know that I love them? And can I come back to this and we either resolve it or we just squash it and just move the fuck on.
You ain't loved me in 2 years. Fuck you.
I've loved on you. I've loved in him. I think that the best part of the discourse that you have with people is the fact that it's not necessarily letting things go. It's just compromise. And if you can't compromise, don't compromise. If you can't, don't. That's simple.
Yeah.
It has to be. And if it's not simple, ask yourself why it isn't. If he can't compromise for the person that's with him, even if he knows that the 90% is great, the 10% that he can't compromise, he's already thought about it. He's grown to that. And since he's grown to that, if that 10% is enough, that 10% becomes 100%. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
It will be an automatic, I just don't need you. But I think that that's super important for us to learn, not just our boundaries, but whether or not we're willing to compromise. Because I think that that's where a lot of people are wrong nowadays. They think that people aren't willing to compromise. No, I'm just not willing to compromise for you. Why do I have to compromise for the mass?
It's that nice thing of saying, I just don't want to be in a relationship right now.
Right.
No, that's not the truth.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in a relationship with
you
right now.
And we take that so fucking personal, especially when they don't say it.
You're doing something different. You look different.
Do I?
Yeah. Did you put Wait, what's that on your hand?
Yeah. I'm taken. Here's the deal. Let's think about it this way. I will compromise for that woman to the end of the earth, and I've already done it. We've gotten used to that compromise, and it works, right? But if you're not willing to compromise for somebody, just fucking don't, bro.
Yeah.
And then I think personally that the letting down easy part is what gets us in the most trouble, especially with that person maybe not being able to recognize it as much as you might be able to right now. So just saying, hey, listen, it ain't working out. Oh, please, is there anything I can do? Absolutely not. I'll buy you a beer. Thanks for the hangout. It was wonderful, or it wasn't. Not brutal honesty, but as honest as could be without the person breaking your car window.